Mamma hueva la marcha, no se hiciste en el...
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over our top 10 albums of the year from 10 to 1.
In person.
Parker's here.
Parker's here.
Cole's here.
Who would have thought they'd make it? Not me. In no particular order, I'm going to list off my honorable mentions. First of all, I want to go with Shadowbox by Mavi. Second of all, I'm going to go with Rich Ass Haitian by Makami. 8, I'm going to go with Timeless by the one guy, Kaytranada. 7, I'm going to go with Scrapyard by Quadeca. 6, I'm going to go with Toothpick by Daisy World. 5, I'm going to go with You Only Die Once by Freddie Gibbs. 4, I'm going to go with The Alexander Technique by Rex Orange County. 3, I'm going to go with King of the Mischievous South 2 by Denzel Curry. 2, I'm going to go with Why Laud by No Worries. And number 1, I low-key thought this was going to make the list until I made the list, and then it didn't make the list. Bando Stone and the New World by Childish Gambino.
Honorable mention, the first one is the Wicked soundtrack. My second honorable mention is Charm by Clairo. My third honorable mention, I don't know.
All right, this is my first time with the microphone. This feels kind of crazy. My HMs are also, I have Shadowbox by Mavi and King of the Mischievous South by Denzel Curry. I have The Great American Bar Scene by Zach Bryan. I know that's crazy, but it was a really good album. I have Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. I have Ultra 85 by Logic. And Penis by Lil Dicky. I'm kidding. And then my last HM is Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. It didn't make the top 10. It was close.
That one I'm actually surprised by.
I know. I really liked it, but while like finalizing my list yesterday, it got bumped down. And it's kind of surprising that it got bumped down because I really like it. But yeah, it did not make it.
We're going to start at number 10 because that's the way I said this is going to work. I'm going to start off with an album that actually I don't think Cole's heard of. Parker somehow has. And this is A Mama by Crumb. Now this, I gotta be honest, this is completely Spotify's fault. And by fault, I mean I'm giving them credit. This came on after like some Clairo stuff and it was heat. And I've been bumping this. This is a very like just nighttime album. I love the crisp drums. I just love it. It's just kind of a vibey album for like a night drive. And I just enjoy it. It's not too long. It's kind of just, it's the perfect length at around like 35 minutes. It's a vibe. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Now for my number 10. My number 10 is Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. I'm actually really upset it's not in Cole's top 10. I figured it would be. Good album. I like the song Boom Bap.
Boom bap! Rappity rap, rap, rap.
Get top on the phone. That's all I have to say.
All right. So my top 10 is this is my number 10. They're gonna be pissed I had this over Alligator Bites Never Heal. It is We Don't Trust You by Metro Boomin and Future. Now, I don't understand why these two don't like Metro Boomin and Future. This album was really good. I listened to it a lot in March whenever it came out. This album set the tone for one of the biggest parts of rap of this entire year with Like That. And Like That is a great song. I mean, you have Like That, you have Type Shit, you have Young Metro, We Don't Trust You. I just like the album. That's all I'm going to say. I like it. It's vibey. It barely beat out Alligator Bites Never Heal. I think it was just a little bit more consistent with like its vibe. But yeah, Parker needs to.
Number 9, I'm going with When Angels Cry by Jev. It's whack. This album to me was just really impressive. Obviously, we've seen Jev in a few of his flows and his bandos, and I'm just really bad at improvising. I really, it has a great intro with Alice. I love the orchestral beats, which is why I recreated it in Type Beat 1. I really, really like the storytelling of the Killer She-Wolf, and I've been going back to it a lot.
On to my number 9. This is going to get the eyes rolling, I think. My number 9 is Chromacopia And I'll tell you exactly why. There were only like.
It's Judge Judy's fault.
It is Judge Judy. I don't like Judge Judy one bit.
That's his favorite song on the album.
I bet it fucking is. I don't care about Tyler or Coma. I don't care about Judy. I don't care about either of them. It's not good storytelling. There are like 3 songs on the whole album that I think are spectacular, and I think the rest of them are fine.
At number 9 for me, I have Brat by Charlie XCX. Wow. Parker put me on Brat. Parker made me listen to Brat for the first time because he played me Club Classics and it was a banger. So that I listened to Brat all the way through, and at first I was like, it's okay, but then I listened to it again, I was like, oh, this is really good. I just haven't stopped listening to it. I love Club Classics, 360, Sympathy's a Knife is probably one of my favorites, so good. Von Dutch, I Might Say Something Stupid's really beautiful. Even the remix album like added so many unexpected things. I like Talk a lot. So Eyes beautiful. Apple's a banger. I think about it all the time, is really deep. Like, I think this album's really good. I just don't think it's as good as the rest of these albums I have on here. I think it definitely was deserving of being top 10.
I'll be honest, I didn't think I was gonna put this album top 10 until somebody made me listen to it again. I found this at a local record store, and I was like, the cover looks interesting, and I listened to it for the first time, and I was like, you know what? It's good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like, it didn't blow me away first time. I probably just wasn't really listening. The Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. I listened to that one again. I'm a synth guy. There's 2 things I like in this world, and it's synths and it's very crisp drums. And there's something about this album. It's just kind of a vibe. It's crazy that it has the beat from Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here. That's crazy to me. But she killed it. Her singing's just amazing. Overall, just another vibe. I mean, I have too many of these on here, but I think it definitely deserves its spot in top 10. And I didn't even expect to put this one up here, but it was really good.
So my number 8 kind of surprised me, actually. But I think it's definitely, which is crazy to say, but I think it's definitely a sleeper. My number 8 is Hit Me Hard and Soft by Billie Eilish. I think it's very sound sonically. I think it has great instrumentals on every single song. Birds of a Feather is probably one of the greatest songs I've ever heard, like from like a composure standpoint. Carter, keep it. Oh, I thought he was shit talking. Chihiro's really good. L'amour de ma vie is really good. It's just like Lunch is amazing. It is a great album. Billie Eilish has hit and missed in the past, but I think this was a big hit, and I think it belongs in the top
missed me
10.
hard verse.
All right, I'm ready to be hated forever for this number 8. My number 8 is going to be Cold Visions by Blade. So Parker and Carter both hate Blade. Parker especially hates Blade.
Hate.
I do.
Parker hates Blade.
I despise. I've never liked.
You know, he killed it on the remix of Brat.
He did. Anyways, okay, I really like this Blade album. I know that's a crazy thing to say because no one really likes Blade here. I just think Blade, like, I used to not like Blade, but this year I started listening to him more and more, and then he dropped this album and his other album with Young Lean, and both were really good and made me like his music a lot more. I think the best song on this album is probably Lowe's Partly. I think Lowe's Partly is really good, and so is Fletzing and Finessing. Other songs I like would be I Don't Like People, Only God Has Made Perfect, 1 Second, the intro's super solid, Message to Myself, Terrible Excellence, Red Cross, Lucky Luke, River Flows in You. That's a great run of songs. I just think this album is really good and really solid. I really liked hearing Blade over some new Filthy production, and that made me, it was kind of surprising because I was just getting into Blade, so I hadn't even like gone back and listened to his old projects. He's plugging his ears right now because he hates Blade so much. I played him some Blade in the car the other day, and he loved it actually. So let's let the record show. I was playing him Blade the other day, and he loved it. Nod your head. Nod your head. He loves Blade.
Guys, my number 7 album is Cold Visions by Blade. Yeah, I'm fucking with you. My number 7 is going to be Big Man Claro up there. I loved Charm so much. Charm was an amazing album. I had never really listened to Claro too much before. I don't remember what even got me into this album.
But
Actually, that's so true. That's not even a lie. I definitely saw Juna on like Instagram, and I was like, this is actually a really good song. Listened to the album once through, kept listening to the album. Going through the songs, I love Nomad. I love the little beat switch. It's a great intro. Second Nature is one of my favorites. Juna is just amazing. It's what got me into the album. I really like Add Up My Love. Just overall, I love the jazziness of it. She sings so well over the beats.
Real Juna fans, listen to Are You Bored Yet by Wallows. My number 7 is an unapologetic 7, definitely. It is Memoir of a Sparkle Muffin by Suki Waterhouse. I just think it's good. I saw it in concert with my girlfriend. It was awesome. I'd do it again. I'd put it 7 again. It's all good. I like all of it. That's it. And no.
All right. I'm ready for more hate.
Oh my god, dude. Bro can't have one good take, can he?
My number 7 is GNX by Kendrick Lamar.
7 is demonic. 7 is demonic.
I wanted it higher, but like the more I kept doing research, I just couldn't. So it's at 7.
He wanted it higher.
I did want it higher. I think this album is beautiful. It's awesome. I just think GNX is a really bad song.
I'm tripping and I'm
Loving it. I think Dodger Blue is also not good. I don't like Dodger Blue. I think Peekaboo's fine also. Yeah, I think there's some misses. Not like full misses, but there's just some songs that don't do it for me, and I think the rest of these albums I have are more consistent and I just enjoy more.
Guys, my 6 is the hit beat maker and rapper, producer, all of it together. This is I Lay My Life Down For You by JPEG Mafia. This album was fantastic. I had been waiting for it because I used to hate JPEG Mafia, I'll be honest. I hated Scaring the Hoes, I gotta be honest. It was, yeah. And then it took me so long. It took me months of like forcing myself to listen to it. Anyway, this was, it turned out to be a great album. And so I was really, really highly anticipating JPEG Mafia's next album, which was crazy because how did man just like go from hip hop just straight to rock, basically? The beginning of I Scream Into the Mirror Before I Interact With People is insane. I mean, he's got his bars. Sin Miedo was good. I really like the tracks like I'll Be Right There For You and also either On or Off the Drugs because of their just mellowness, but also really good samples, even if it was an AI future sample. Fantastic feature by Vince Staples on this. Overall, the rock was really good. Ex-Military was one of the top songs off of this. JPEG Ultra with Denzel Curry. Overall, this was just a crazy album. The one thing that happened to me was like, for me, this is just a project I have to listen to all the way through. I don't enjoy each like one of the songs too much over another, but all the way through, it's a good project. But overall, actually, it kind of grew off me, which I didn't think would happen, which is why it's this low on the list right now. But overall, looking back on it, it was a good one. He killed. He did.
My number 6 surprised me, actually, while I was making this list, so I'm sure it'll surprise you guys as well. But I don't think it's objectively incorrect. My number 6 is Everyone's Getting Involved, the Talking Heads tribute album. I just think it's really good. I kind of like Talking Heads, but the only thing I like more than Talking Heads is all of their songs being recreated by people who do it better than they do. I think the only recreation that is worse than the Talking Heads version was Psycho Killer, and that's because Miley Cyrus is not that good, and I will stand by that. And Tizo's on it, and Lord does very well. Burn Down the House, Paramore did Burn Down the House, fucking awesome. If you listen to any song of the album, listen to Burn Down the House by Paramore, or Making Flippy Floppy by Tizo Touchdown.
My number 6 is going to be Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. I think for the longest time I had GNX over Chromacopia. I think just a couple days ago I re-listened to both and I felt like Chromacopia was more consistent, which was weird to say. And I think I was really between, I think both of them were really good. Both of them were great. And I was just between which album had the lower low. I think GNX is worse than Judge Judy.
I don't know
You
if
guys
I agree
hate
with that.
Judge.
I don't like Judge Judy, but I also do not like GNX. And I think GNX is worse than Judge Judy, and that's the only reason Chromacopia is higher than GNX, I think. They were literally so even. Like tomorrow I could flip these around again. Like it's right there.
Tomorrow, the hit song by Tyler the Creator.
Shut the fuck up, Carter. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, we're in the waters now. We're actually just on a couch. My top 5, and I know that I'm gonna actually let them describe more about this album later, because I know it's in both of theirs. Dark Times by Vince Staples. I enjoyed this album a lot. I've never, this is just a year of first for me, let's be honest. I didn't listen to Vince Staples really ever until this year. Got really big into Big Fish Theory. I think it's one of my top 10 most listened albums this year. And then Dark Times came out, and that was just a fantastic project. Vince, I really, really liked the production on it. I mean, it was just like, I don't know how to describe it because I don't have a very big vocabulary. I thought like Vince has some really, really strong moments on this album. I'll let them describe it more in detail. They spent more time with the project, but I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna keep listening to it.
Yeah, my number 5. I have a feeling this is probably not the first time we'll hear about this today, because we have a professional on the scene. But my number 5 is Only God Was Above Us. I think it was great. I actually didn't know they dropped the project until Doogie told me. Yeah, I mean, I like all of the songs, actually. I really like Classical. Classical might be my favorite. But, yeah. Yep, that's 5.
All right, my number 5. I decided to move just because it felt like more natural. I don't know why. It felt like natural being over here. My number 5 is going to be Scrapyard by Quadeca.
Number 5. Yeah, Scrapyard by Quadeca, number 5.
Quadeca dropped a really good album this year. He dropped...
A la carte.
I do like A La Carte. Again, A La Carte is a better song than Judge Judy and GNX.
That is
I think this album is just really good. Like, really, really good. And I just really enjoyed it. Like, I listened to the entire thing a few times over the last few weeks just to, like, see where I would put it. And I listened to it again yesterday, and it was kind of like, shit, like, this album is way too low. This album was probably 9 on my list yesterday, and now it's 5. I think it just deserves to be that high. Quadeca's amazing with production. His production choices are just so awesome. And, like, even, like, his voice is good. His rapping performances are good. I really liked I Didn't Mean to Haunt You a few years ago, back in 2022. And this album is also really good. I think he's great. And I'm excited for Vanisher.
I needed, you know what? I would have put that album in my top 10 if Quadeca did more ad libs. You know, if he did more.
And that brings us to I Am Music.
I am putting a whole lot of Red at my top 4. My number 4, guys. I did kind of think this would be higher. I'm going with Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. This album came out very early in the year. I remember listening to Blue Slides. It was like, I think it was one of the first Schoolboy Q songs I'd ever heard. Promoted to me on Instagram, just like an ad. And I was like, this is amazing. If he drops a project like this, I'm going to like it. And I did. I really, really enjoyed the project. It's got those jazzy soul cuts. It's also got like the hard-hitting bangers like Urine 101 and Pop, Thank God for Me, which also kind of goes a little mellow. The Freddie Gibbs feature is fantastic. Ab-Soul does well. Overall, it also has Alchemist production. Overall, it was a very, very good production-wise and rapping-wise from Schoolboy Q. A very fun project to listen through all the way.
It's not on my list, so just wanted to say that.
Well, luckily, we still got me. And my number 4, ironically, Blue Lips is not on my list either. My number 4 is Band of Stone and the New World, which I feel like I'm surprised hasn't showed up again on either of the other guys' list, which is kind of embarrassing. It was on your honorable mentions.
Yeah, you know it was on ours.
I did. Well, I know. I was just surprised. I know it's not on yours, but Carter and I saw it in concert. And it was awesome.
Dude, I really wanted to put it up there.
It was an amazing concert. When I think about it, there's not a single song on that album that I think I would skip consistently. That one song with Ludwig Göransson or whatever his name is.
There's no excuses.
No Excuses. No Excuses doesn't lie. I mean, it's not. I don't know. That's not one I would go sing in the club.
That is nowhere near the worst song in the album.
So I actually didn't say it was the worst song on the album. He was putting words in my mouth. I just said that is the one that I wouldn't go singing in the club. But I think the rest of them have consistent energy. I'm not done. I really like the Legend feature. I think it's funny. And Hearts Were Meant to Fly might be the greatest opening track of the 2020s.
My number 4 is Dark Times by Vince Stapler. By Mr. Vince Stapler.
It's like
Imagine if there was a clock and there was no dark times.
I know this is gonna come up on Parker's list again, so I'm just gonna keep it short. Little Homies, Nothing Matters, Justin, Children's Song, Black and Blue are all beautiful songs. This album is amazing and I love it.
Oh, brother, do we have a doozy here. Number 3, we have Alligator Bites Never Heal by Doechii. Right. Top 3. I really enjoyed this project. It took me a little bit. I think overall she blended a lot of styles really well on this track. I keep calling it a track on this project. It's got a fun little low key intro. Bullfrog, Boiled Peanuts, Catfish, all just bangers. Nissan Altima is also a banger. Denial is a River is such an amazing song. This might be this is a Carter exclusive right here. I really enjoyed Bloom because sometimes life gets busy, especially doing this whole YouTube thing, and you get a little stressed out. So the intro of Bloom was amazing. Wait, I really like her singing, and her rapping is just amazing on it. This was a really fun mixtape. I really enjoyed this project. It took me buying the vinyl to listen to it more, but it was amazing.
My number 3, this is such a bandwagon thing of me, because 2 weeks ago I actually had never listened to the whole thing. My number 3 is Imaginal Disc. It scratches. Yeah. It's just good. It's just good. I've learned since listening to it all the way that I just genuinely enjoy Magdalena Bay. That's just kind of my style more so. I really like whatever genre you want to call that. That's a niche that needs filling, and it filled it. Yeah. I mean, I like all of it. It's all good.
We'll be returning to that a little bit later. Don't you worry. My number 3 is my top hip hop album of the year, with "I Lay My Life Down for You" by JPEG Mafia. This album was lower down on the list, but the more I just listened to it, I listened to it in a really good pair of headphones a few weeks ago, and wow, it was just like the production was so good. Because I listened to it on my computer headphones, and I have really nice headphones for my computer.
It was just so. He has really nice headphones.
I think he probably is really. He seems like the kind of guy
I
who
feel
really
like
nice
he's
headphones
amazing
for his computer.
Like probably.
Okay.
He probably plugs them in.
Anyways, I don't think that there's a bad song on this album. I think my favorite songs are gonna be Ex-Military, JPEG Ultra, New Black History, Either On or Off the Drugs, and Sin Miedo. However you say that. Yeah, Sin Miedo. Either way, I don't care. It's a really good song. That's something that makes me happy. Used to listen to it. It's a banger. The album version's way better than the single version. And same with Don't Rely on Other Men. That song's also really good. But yeah, I think I have it higher than both of you. Unless we haven't heard it from Parker yet. It might not be on his top 10 though. So we don't know yet. But either way, it's a really great album. And I love it.
You guys are going to hate me so much for my next 2 albums. No! What? This is going to be a video where we slowly lose albums, and my vote is Wolf is about to go next. You guys, you're going to hate me for this. And it's probably because I've not listened to hip hop for too long, and this was a big deal for me. But I'm going to be going with GNX by Kendrick Lamar.
2?
I've never been around for a Kendrick drop, and I really, really, really enjoyed this album. I know where I was whenever I listened to it because I was driving back home for Thanksgiving, and every song was just hitting for me. It kept hitting for me. It's almost cracked my top 10 albums played this year. It's a really, really good album. And I mean, Kendrick just drops good projects. And so being my first one, it definitely is getting a much higher spot than these two bozos. Whacked Out Murals, just an insane start. Squabble Up, the fun little TikTok song that came from Not Like Us. Luther, it's the most streamed song on the album for a reason. I love that song. I mean, I could talk about each one of these songs. I did maybe hear Jack Harlow on Hey Now. And I gotta be honest, I was really confused, but I was also very tired at 11 after driving. Reincarnated, amazing. TV Off, amazing. Dodger Blue, I don't get the Dodger Blue hate. I love that song so much, but it's okay. Peekaboo, I did hate. Peekaboo, I thought was the worst song on the album for a bit. Grown on Me. Hey, that's my bit. I really enjoyed that song. GNX, or Heart Part 6, first of all, insane song. Just amazing. GNX has grown on me a lot. I'm not a big fan on the last feature of it, but it's okay. And Gloria, I mean, SZA and Kendrick don't miss. You know what? And that was amazing. That was a really, really good project. I enjoyed it a lot.
My number 2 is I Lay Down My Life for You. Crazy, but not. I don't think that's crazy at all. Everything Doogie said about it, I agree with, and then some. I think it is almost my favorite project of the year.
Wait, because that's what second place means.
Yeah, so put it... I think the only song that when I did agree with what Carter said, where you kind of have to listen through the entire project, because it I don't even know how to describe it, but it has like sustenance to it. It's different when you listen to the whole thing as opposed to one song at a time. But with that said, the only song I don't listen to on every listen through is I Recovered From This. It's really good. Kind of bums me out though, and I don't want to be ending an album like that, especially after it was so high energy before. But that's really the only gripe I have, is that it kind of kills the mood. But it's still a good song. I still appreciate the musicality of it, and yeah, I think it's almost the closest rap album to being a 10 out of 10 all year. Almost.
Have you said GNX yet?
Nope.
And you haven't said Dark Times yet either.
And I haven't said Dark Times yet either.
So only one of those albums is making his top 10. Okay, my number 2 is Only God Was Above Us by Vampire Weekend. Only God Was Above Us is just an amazing album. There isn't a song on this album like under like an 8 out of 10, I would say. Like, it's just all great. I think my least favorite song on the album is Gen X Cops.
Yes. Gen X Cops might be a 7.
But it's still so good. Like honestly, it's my least favorite, but it's still so good. Classical, Capricorn, Connect, The Surfer, Hope, all so good. Just a great album overall. I love it. I listened to it back in May, and it was just so good. And I was like, damn, this album is just amazing. And I sent it to both of them. I was like, listen to this album. It's so good. I will listen to that and the Lemon Twigs at the same time. And the Lemon Twigs dropped a really good album this year. Didn't crack my top 10. Wasn't even an HM. I didn't get to listening to it fully, so I felt wrong ranking it. But yeah, it was really good. This album's amazing. Only God Was Above Us. It's my second favorite album of the year. I would suggest it to everybody. It's like a really good, like, chill rock album, I would say.
Guys, fellas, we're all friends here, right? I have spent so much time with this album, and it is Chromacopia by Tyler,
The Creator.
Oh my god. Chromacopia number 1.
This album to me, first listen, I thought it was a mediocre project. I didn't think like there were standout moments like Darling I. I thought overall like it was a fine project. It wasn't compared to like Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost, it wasn't as good. But as time went on, and obviously I made a video on it, I dissected it. That album to me is just amazing, and it gets me every time, every playthrough. I just have enjoyed it the most of every album. Saint Chroma, insane intro. Darling I, obviously amazing. Hey Jane, I Killed You, and Judge Judy, I did not like, and those have grown on me so much. I enjoy Judge Judy now, and I didn't think that would happen. I really did not think that would happen. Take Your Mask Off is just amazing. Tyler just has, I mean, this album has some of his best verses and best production. Thought I Was Dead is so fun. Like Him is insane. It's just amazing. And I Hope You Find Your Way Home is just another amazing verse. Another just, the production is so insane. I love this album so much. I spent 3,000 minutes with it this year. And it was fantastic.
So, yeah, I think we've all vetted out what my number one album is, and I don't think it should be surprising, really. Cold Visions by Blade. No, my number one album is Dark Times, and this actually, Black and Blue was my number one song of the year, which surprised me, really surprised me, because that's not even my favorite song on the album. I think it's probably just the one that got the most play. And that's probably why it just came up on mixes and stuff. I can go through and talk about every single one of these songs and how amazing it is. Doogie kind of already did that. I think, Black and Blue, Government Cheese, Children's Song, Shame on the Devil, Etouffee, Justin, Radio, Nothing Matters, Little Homies, Why Won't the Sun Come Out? Like, I think, for me, they're all...
Outro? Yeah. He doesn't even say anything on that.
He doesn't have to.
Okay.
The song says enough.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I don't know. It's just good. It's just good. It's all good. I think every song on this album is at least a 9, honestly. I think it's handily my favorite album of the year. It's not as good as Big Fish, though.
All right. I think we also already know what my number one album is, but this album is amazing. It is Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. What the fuck is this album? Honestly, it's so good. I was just on Twitter one day, and all my Twitter people I followed, it's listen to this album, listen to this album, listen to this album. It's amazing. I was I finally listened to it. I watched Fantano's review, and he gave it a decent 9. It's really high for Fantano. Honestly, I was like, okay, maybe I should listen to this. I listened to it, and I was like, what the hell? I listened to it in my car ride home from break from school, and it was just amazing. I yelled, what the fuck, multiple times while listening to this album, just because there's so many intricate choices that they make. She Looked Like Me grew on me. It had to grow on me a little bit, but I think that's a perfect song. Killing Time, perfect song. Image, perfect song. Death and Romance is just amazing. Fear and Sex is probably my least favorite song on the album. It's just kind of short, kind of bland. Vampire in the Corner, I think Mika has one of her best performances on the album. Watching TV is also great. Tunnel Vision is a trip. It feels like I'm tripping. It takes you through everything. Love Is Everywhere is also just so beautiful. That's my 4, might be my favorite song on the album. I think that song just goes so hard. It's just crazy. Cry For Me is beautiful. Angel on a Satellite almost made me tear up when I listened to it the first time just because it was so beautiful. And then the Ballad of Matt and Mika is also beautiful. It's also beautiful. This album is just perfect. It is probably my album that's closest to a 10 this year. Easily. It might be a 10. I think this album is the only one that's for sure a 10. I think this and Only God Was Above Us are probably my 2 10s this year. I don't think any hip-hop album was a 10. I think I Laid My Life Down For You was the next closest, or Dark Times, and they were both very similar for me. They were also interchangeable. But yeah, I think those are my only 2 10s this year, and I think Imaginal Disc is the best album of the year.
And that's our video. Please let me know what you guys thought of our takes. What was your favorite albums of the year? Give us a top 10. You know what? I want to see them. I want to rate them.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6 seconds to finish the video. 5, 4.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you back here. Height reveal in 3, 2.
Are we actually standing up?
Guys, this is how tall we are.
I'm 6 foot though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he loves feminist literature.